Welcome back, everybody. Derrick Sue, your East Oakland advocate. Well, here we go again. More Oakland police scandals. And this isn't good. Um, this time it's for officers drinking on the job or have just gotten off duty. And this was brought to the attention last night on the news from Pamela Price, the district attorney for Alameda County, who's brought charges on these police officers, and rightfully so, because they're not any different than us, uh, who are the general public, uh, and we get stopped for DUI. Uh, and what makes this really bad is that the police officers were drunk on duty. Yes, they were drunk on duty. In fact, one of the officers even was in a single car vehicle crash. And after the crash, he ran away like a criminal would. And then after running away, then he called in the OPD and said that he was carjacked. So a lot of violations right there. And this is what Oakland has been in trouble for decades. And one of the reasons why we can't get off the federal oversight because of these stupid things that keep happening. And our new police chief, Floyd Mitchell, has his hands full because he has to decide on the discipline for these folks. And for some of the officers, this has been over a year now that they've been suspended. One of the officers' names, the first one is Nathaniel Walker, and he was been on administrative leave since June 30th of last year of 23. So um, this is something that should be easy to rectify because number one, Oakland police officers, they're under a lot of stress. We know that, and working the city of Oakland is extremely dangerous and stressful, that we've seen, and so. But drinking on the job is not acceptable. You have to be 100% coherent and be able to make good uh, decisions uh, while you're on duty. And then another one, the one that I just spoke of that ran away. Or no, this is a different one. Trevor Harley. This one was October 8th of last year, 23. He was working the graveyard shift, and he was witnessed by other police officers when he stopped to talk to other officers that he was had bloodshot eyes and had alcohol on his breath. So this was witnessed by other, like I said, other police officers in his district, and so they arrested him on that. And the DUI measurements and everything were conducted by the CHP, California Highway Patrol, and so that way we have a neutral third party doing the testing and investigation along with the Oakland police officers. And then the last one that I spoke of, the one who ran away, was Eduardo Arazan. And that was August of this year, where he was driving erratically in East Oakland at over 100 miles an hour, it was reported. So, and then he crashed his car, and like I said, he exited and ran away. Then what he did was uh, really a felony, and this officer needs to be decertified and removed from all police duties into the future because he is not reliable, he is not believable, and he committed a felony. And this is something that Oakland has struggled with. disciplining their officers. In this case, this should be a simple one. And driving erratically, um, and to file a police report, a false police report, and be a police officer, that's a person that needs to be decertified and removed from all law enforcement, present and future. And then there's a fourth officer that they have not named. So this is probably a ranking officer, a high-ranking officer, sergeant and above, where they won't release the officer's name. So this is significant. And then he was placed on administrative leave in February, back earlier this year, after crashing his Tesla on Highway I-80 while he was heading home to Fairfield. And again, that's why we need to have our officers living in the city of Oakland and not an hour away. And this is an officer, we don't have a whole lot of information. They're just not releasing much on this particular officer. So that makes 4 police officers under investigation and on administrative leave. And so these are on Eduardo Arizon. That's an easy one. He should be terminated and decertified from all law enforcement duty, because while I worked for Department of Defense and JSOC, I was held to a very, very high standard. And being drunk or high or anything while on duty, that is a no-no. And you could lose your leadership position if that happened. If I were to be drunk on duty or high on duty or missing. And so these are standards that are held to people that have that are licensed for gun carry and observation of a lot of things. And that's what I do, DOD, Department of Defense. And that's what I did when I worked there. Nowadays, not so much, but I look at how police are investigated, how they're disciplined, and there's a real lack of terminating an officer, and that's because of the shortages of officers that are available and that are coming online. So it's a fine balance, but allowing unscrupulous people like this, where we have 4 that have an obvious problem. 1 shouldn't even be an officer right now. That one's an easy one, since he made a fictitious and false report. But the other officers, they do have mental health assistance, also drug and alcohol treatment. So the first 2, Nathaniel Walker and Trevor Hurley, are probably on administrative leave, going through those classes on alcohol related issues, drug related issues, and that's why they're still on the payroll, so to speak. But things have to change in order to get off the federal oversight. So Oakland, you have to do a much better job. These are things that should be brought up once again in reviewing their background and adding alcoholism on there, and that they're in treatment for it. So there needs to be some real oversight on officers that have issues like this. In Oakland, if you don't get hold of this and start terminating some of these bad officers, we're never going to get off of the federal oversight. Thanks for joining me today. We just got to do better, Oakland. We got do better on the screenings. We have to do better on the background checks. We have to do better on the mental evaluations of officers and not just put anybody out on the streets. Thanks for joining me today. We'll be right back.